Ambassador Krill adjusted his environmental suit one final time as he reviewed the datapad in his four-fingered hands. The research station orbiting Valdris Prime hummed quietly around him, its artificial gravity keeping his chitinous feet planted firmly on the deck. This was supposed to be a routine punishment detail dump, the troublesome humans on the worst planet they could find, and watch them struggle for survival. Instead, his mandibles clicked nervously as he read the latest reports. Sir, the humans have been planetside for exactly 96 standard cycles, reported Lieutenant Vex, his aide-de-camp. Initial projections suggested they would last perhaps 20 cycles at most. Krill's compound eyes focused on the orbital imagery displayed on the main screen. Valdris Prime stretched below them, a nightmare world of crimson storms, acid rain, and gravity nearly 3 times standard. The atmospheric pressure alone should have crushed any sane species. Temperatures fluctuated between freezing and scalding within hours. Predators the size of shuttlecraft roamed landscapes that shifted daily due to volcanic activity. The Galactic Council had classified it as a Class 15 Deathworld, the highest rating on their scale. Nothing was supposed to survive there except the indigenous death flora and the massive predators that had evolved over millions of years. "Show me grid section 7 Alpha," Krill commanded. The image zoomed in, revealing something that made his breathing apparatus wheeze in disbelief. Where the humans had first landed, a sprawling settlement now existed. Not temporary shelters or desperate hovels, but actual buildings constructed from local materials. Smoke rose from what appeared to be industrial facilities. "Run the population scan again," he ordered. The results appeared moments later. Lieutenant Vex's neck frills turned pale blue with shock. "Sir, the readings show approximately 15,000 humans. That's triple their original number." Krill felt his exoskeleton shiver. The initial drop had contained 5,000 humans, criminals, dissidents, and others the Council deemed expendable. They were supposed to serve as an example to other rebellious species about the consequences of defying galactic law. "Bring up the behavioral analysis," he said, though part of him already dreaded what he would see. The screen filled with observational data collected by stealth drones. Humans moved through their settlement with purpose, not the desperate scrambling one would expect from a dying population. They had domesticated some of the smaller predators, using them as beasts of burden. Gardens flourished where nothing should grow. Most troubling of all, they appeared to be mining operations in the volcanic regions. Captain Tom Beck's voice crackled through the communication array, startling both aliens. The human colony had somehow managed to build a transmitter capable of reaching orbit. "Hello up there, Krill buddy. Hope you're enjoying the show." Krill activated the two-way communication with trembling fingers. "Human Beck, your continued existence is unexpected. What is your current status?" A sound that might have been laughter echoed through the bridge. "Status? We're doing fantastic down here. Really fantastic. Valdris Prime is a bit rough around the edges, but nothing we couldn't handle with a little elbow grease. Impossible. The environmental hazards alone should have eliminated your population within cycles." "Hazards? You mean like the acid rain?" "Yeah, that took some getting used to. Great for industrial processes, though, once you know how to harvest it safely. And those big predators you were probably counting on to eat us? Turns out they're basically just oversized cattle once you figure out their behavioral patterns." Lieutenant Vex made a strangled sound. Krill gestured for silence. "The gravity," he began. "Excellent for physical conditioning," Beck interrupted cheerfully. "Our kids are growing up stronger than their parents ever were. Give us a few generations, and we'll probably be able to bench press your entire species." The datapad slipped from Krill's grasp, clattering to the deck. "Your reproduction rates are accelerating?" "Well, yeah. Lots of time on our hands between shifts, and the high gravity seems to agree with human physiology." Plus, we've got a whole planet to explore and settle. This place has resources you wouldn't believe. Krill's mandibles clicked rapidly. Resources? Rare metals, unique crystalline formations, some kind of energy-producing fungus we've barely begun to understand. The volcanic activity is actually perfect for geothermal power. We've got more energy than we know what to do with. The ambassador's worst fears were crystallizing. The humans weren't just surviving, they were thriving. Worse, they were turning their prison into a fortress. Oh, and Krill? Beck's voice took on a different tone. We've been thinking. The council sent us here to die, right? Kind of makes us wonder what they're really afraid of. Maybe it's time we found out. The communication cut out, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Lieutenant Vex finally found his voice. Sir, what do we do? Krill stared at the planet below, watching the lights of human civilization spread across continents that should have been barren wastelands. The greatest punishment the Galactic Council could devise had become humanity's greatest opportunity. They had turned a Deathworld into a training ground, a proving ground, and now potentially a launching point. His species had ruled the galaxy for millennia by carefully managing threats and eliminating problems before they could grow. They had just created their biggest problem yet, and it was reproducing at an alarming rate on a planet that was making it stronger by the day. Draft an emergency report to the Council, he said quietly. Classification. Extreme priority. Subject. Human containment protocol has failed. Recommend immediate. No. He paused, reconsidering. Recommend immediate diplomatic contact. Lieutenant Vex's frills shifted to deep purple. Diplomatic contact, sir? Yes, because in 96 cycles, they've shown us something we never expected to see. They've shown us what happens when you try to kill something that refuses to die. The lights of human civilization twinkled mockingly. From the surface of Valdris Prime, a Class 15 Deathworld that had just become humanity's new home.